What's amazing about this, and I want you to focus very hard on this. This is a perfect allegory for socialism. Perfect. You've got the old guy pulling the strings in the original socialist, and then you've got the new pretty shiny thing that's saying how great it is. Then once you pull the mask off the new pretty shiny thing, they all look like the old bread Bernie Sanders. I could not find a better example of socialism in a duality like this on the planet. Did you catch it, guys? I hope you caught it, because the two factions of the dim civil war for the battle of the soul of the Democrat Party over the next year just were revealed. They've got a little bit of a problem on their hands, and I cannot wait to show you and highlight that for you right now in this video. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below. I always bring the receipts, and I can almost guarantee you're not going to see this anywhere else, because we've been talking about this for about 10 months, and it's all starting to become public. All right, like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You can follow me on X at Braden LOA if you'd like. Let's dive right into this. I do not want to bury the lead on you guys. So, I'm going to show you both factions right now. One of them is the Democrat middle of the road, drop the crazy woke progressive stuff. And one, of course, is the woke progressive crazy stuff. And I have a joke for you, which you'll get in a second. What happens when you mix old bread with spicy? Yeah, you get vote repellent. I'm going to show you in 1 second. All right, but on to the point of the man of the hour, John Fetterman, who has earned himself a primary challenge for saying this. Again, they're going to primary him because of this. Watch.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that Pasek assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, you know, he's a father that had his neck blown out by a bullet. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was, in my state, was shot in the head. And if that would have, could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government.
And we're going to get to that part in a second. But that's what's earned him a primary challenge. Okay? When I tell you that if all Democrats, and I'll give them this free advice. I'll even make it a big screen for them. If all Democrats adopt this approach, this tact, and this language, they will start winning again. And in probably a bigger way than they think. But they have a problem. They are held hostage by the far less progressives, the old bread and the spicy that I'm about to show you. This is the whole point. You're watching a struggle between these Democrats and a little civil war that is brewing inside that Democrat Party. They don't want to talk about it too much because it's uncomfortable. And it's going to get really fun to watch. So grab your popcorn as this comes to the surface, because nothing brings out surface tensions like money, power, and winning elections. You're going to see this happen. But John Fetterman is the voice of reason. Who would have thought I'd say that ever? Anyway, let's keep on going, because this is very important to keep this momentum on this point. I'm going to show you what's causing them to do this. This is happening. Per Axios, there is a primary challenge against John Fetterman because literally he said what I just showed you. That should show you where the conflict is in the party. They could adopt this and start doing a U-turn, a 180, but instead they're talking about ousting him for not being pure enough. Straight up Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. Guys, this war has been going on for 3 and 4 years. Let me show you some more. This is something else. And by the way, little spoiler alert, here is the old bread and the new spicy. That's called vote repellent. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. That's coming up. Let's go back to John Fetterman really quickly, because this is where he just says the quiet part out loud about the Democrat shutdown that they're doing. Again, this is like verboten. You can't do this in the DNC circles. Let's get it.
That's why shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party. And it's the wrong thing for the country in a period of chaos. I refuse to vote to shut our government down. I absolutely would love to have... I would love to have a conversation about extending the tax credits for health care. Absolutely. But I would remind everybody, too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken by the Republicans. They were designed to expire. Now, let's have a conversation to extend it and not shut our government down. That's what...
Okay, there you have it. He literally just said the whole thing of why they're shutting the government down was inspired and designed by Democrats, and now they're pissed because their own plan is expiring. And he's earned a primary challenge. Okay, now that I've shown you one faction, let's get to the next one, that stale bread and that new spicy. This right here, this is everything. You're going to start to see this a lot more because for some reason, the progressive left has partnered Bernie Sanders with AOC, and they always go everywhere together. They're always doing social media hits. They're always doing interviews. It's like this joint old wise fisherman with the young little buck. That's kind of like the old bread and the spicy. That's what I'm saying. All right, watch this. I'm telling you, this is the fight. You're looking at it in real time developing.
What does that need to look like before you would vote to reopen the government? Or is it commitment from the White House and Republicans enough?
No doubt.
I mean,
Mr. President, is a very honest man. And if he says something, man, you could take it to the bank.
So you're saying his word is not enough?
bankruptcy court.
His word? No.
So what do you need to see? What commitments from
I think we need to see ink on paper. I think we need to see legislation. I think we need to see votes. And I think we need to see these things pass on the floor of the House and the Senate and signed by President Trump. I don't accept IOUs. I don't accept pinky promises. That's not the business that I'm in.
Okay, so you need a signature.
What's amazing about this, and I want you to focus very hard on this. This is a perfect allegory for socialism. Perfect. You've got the old guy pulling the strings in the original socialist, and then you got the new pretty shiny thing that's saying how great it is. Then once you pull the mask off the new pretty shiny thing, they all look like the old bread Bernie Sanders. I could not find a better example of socialism in a duality like this on the planet. But this is what they're trying to partner and put everything together. This is it, guys. And not everyone's buying it because this is Chris Cuomo. I'm going to wrap this video with this. Chris Cuomo is openly saying AOC has no chance prayer in hell because she's a socialist living in a capitalist society and all she does is get internet points because who she is. Watch this. I'm telling you, this civil war inside the Democratic Party is active and it's becoming more visceral. Watch.
AOC has done nothing meaningful in Congress. She's done it all on social media. And she's one of your leading names in who's going to be president? Do you not get this concept of 80-20? She's an 80-20 loser all day long. Why? She is clearly catering to a minority. She's her own version of MAGA. She's looking for an outraged enclave. She's not about the majority. She's not about consensus. She's not about solutions. She wants government to give you everything. She's a socialist in a capitalist society. What are you thinking?
Okay, guys, I'm telling you, we've been saying it for the past 9 months, 3 years. There is a coming brooding war between the far left progressives and the Democrats. You've got the AOC and Bernie Sanders vote repellent that they're putting together, and you got John Fetterman who's earning himself primary challenges for speaking a little bit of common sense. This is about to be fun. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.